What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to my channel, you guys, and welcome to Woosah Wednesday. You guys already know what this is. This is Queen Sugar, Season 2, Episode 5, Caroling Dusk. And Caroling Dusk is another book of poetry written in 1927 by a gentleman named County Cullen. Okay, and it's a book of scattered prose, scattered verse. And I think it's definitely appropriate, considering I think this episode of Queen Sugar, although we learned some very, very important things, it was kind of scattered. So let's see if we can piece it together and see if we can make some sense of this episode as it pertains to this entire season and what we can expect going forward. Okay, so without further ado, you guys already know the routine. Remember to hit that subscribe button if you are not already subscribed to my channel. I really, really appreciate it, and I promise you it is not a decision that you will regret. Hit that like button. It lets YouTube know, as well as me, that you like my content. And please remember to let's talk about it down below in the comment section. We love to hash it out. And we've started sort of this little trend where we name our favorite characters for the episode, who was our favorite, for this particular episode. So please join in with that. Give us your favorite characters down to your least favorite down below in the comment section. Okay, so let's talk about it, you guys. This episode opened with Charley, so we are going to start with Charley. Okay, Charley is at the therapist's office. Remember, on last week, before the cops knocked on the door at Ralph Angel's house, she was just telling Micah about the new place to live and the fact that they were going to both start to go and see someone about some things that are going on with him. Okay, and she's calling, she's sitting there at the sofa at the therapist looking at her, and Charley, she always has her stuff together. She doesn't like for things to bleed outside of the circle. So she's looking at the therapist and she's calling Micah and she's trying to play it off, and she realizes he's at like a Habitat for Humanity service project with Nova, and he has blown off this therapy session. So she of course keeps it all smiles and charisma, and just keeps it all together for the therapist. But that's the therapist's job, right? She sees right through it. So Michael's not coming. He's gonna have to reschedule. You're here, spent the money already. Why don't you tell me a little bit about you to help me to get to know, to help Micah, if I get to know you a little bit better. And Charley is instantly uncomfortable because she already knows I'm not talking about my feelings. I don't want to go over my childhood. I don't need no help. I'm just fine. Right? Story of our lives, right? I'm just fine. Okay. And the therapist knows how to redirect. She knows how to bob and weave. She's not easily offended. So she's blocking every shot that Charley puts up. And she asks her, do you feel like that you were required to be perfect in your childhood? She was like, what, we're not here to talk about you. I prefer to keep everything specifically on Micah. And the therapist is like, okay, well, is there a reason why you want to just keep it with Micah? Or, and she is just like, listen. I was raised by my mom mostly. I was expected to do things a certain way and things to be sort of perfect, but I don't raise Micah that way. I don't expect perfection out of him. And the therapist is right on it, but why not? And this is something she's got to start to think about. This is why she didn't want to stay, because it's like opening Pandora's box. Even the simplest questions can get you in this place where you start talking, and then you start realizing, and then you start coming to, this realization that, God, dog, I am really Yeah, I'm low key fucked up. We all got our issues, but yeah, nobody wants to do that spur of the moment, right? But I'm proud of Charley, okay? I'm proud of Charley this episode. Later on, we see her call Nova, and she kind of goes off about Micah because she can't really go off on Micah. And she's at her new home. And she's put it together, but she's not really comfortable. She's not sure what's going on with Micah. She can't really call Remy, and Davis is out, and she's trying to give Aunt Vi and Hollywood their space. She just left Ralph Angel's office. She really, really want Micah there because Micah is, you know, her constant, right? So she calls Nova to go off on Nova because she had just talked to somebody and going off about Micah seems like a good reason to call Nova. I mean, heaven forbid we were to call our sister and tell her we need her. No, 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 no. It's got to be under the cloud of this fake upsetness about Micah not being there. And Nova diffuses it. I'm so sorry. I had no idea. And she's like, no, no, it's okay. It's all right. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'll talk to you later. All right. Then we see where Nova comes over and a beautiful act of sisterly kindness and brings dinner and just spends a little time with Charley. She blesses Charley. She blesses Charlie's house. And Charley doesn't believe a lot in what it is that Nova can do in terms of her more spiritual holistic side, but she don't doubt it either. Like, she has her little jokes about it, but at the same time she loves her silk sister. She welcomes her positive energy, and right now she needs a friend, and Nova's at the door being that friend. And so they have a real genuine moment where they talk, and Nova says, she tells her a little bit about the therapist and some things that she's feeling. Charley does. And Nova says, no offense, really none, but your mom is the reason why you're such a control freak. And they kid about, Charley not being the only control freak in the family. And Nova's like, who you talking about on Vi? They all have a measure of controlling behavior. It is just that Charley's is magnified and it's on 10 because she had this expectation from a small child on to be perfect. And it's a moment. It's a moment. Later on, we see that Micah comes in and Charley is painting the new place, and he comes in and she sees him, and where she would normally have lit into him maybe and let him have it, she doesn't. She just continues to paint, and she gives him a smile, and he comes over and picks up the paint roller and starts painting with her. And after a few minutes she says, hey, you want to go catch a movie with me later? And he says, yeah, sure. And she smiles and she goes, and she realizes it's okay to just relax. See, because what she told the therapist about, I don't raise my son to be perfect, not misconstruing the perfection, excellence for perfection. She did have this expectation that it was going to be him and her, and they was going to ride or die together, right? And now realizing he's got his own voice, he's got his own life, he's got his own concerns, he's got his own anxieties that are outside of her, and on some occasions because of her, you know, and he's got to find his own way in that, and she's got to find her own way in her own journey, and together they've got to find a way to make it together as a family, as a mother and son team. Okay, she realizes it's okay to just take a breath, to just relax. You ain't got to go off about everything all the time. Mom, like my mama say, it's okay to put a pin in something and revisit it later, and that's okay. So she lets the therapy session situation go. She lets, her own insecurities and anxieties goes, and she just is there with her son. She just being with her son right now. Okay, and it's a good moment. I enjoyed Charley in this episode. We also see in this episode where Darla comes to her and shows her her resume and asks her for some advice on that resume. And as she begins to give that advice, she sees that Darla is uncomfortable. And later on, we see Charley make a grand gesture to to Darla that is both life changing for Darla and devastating, it seems, to Ralph Angel. But we're going to get into that. Let's move on to Aunt Vi and Hollywood. You know, that's our favorite couple. We love love, and we especially love black love, okay? Um, Aunt Vi is nervous. She's nervous about a whole bunch of stuff. You know, she's made this decision that she wants to start her own pie business, baking business with pies. And she's got the pies ready. She's going to go out and she's going to hit a couple of places and see if they want to sell her pies. And of course, Hollywood is right there supporting her as always. And he said, "You got this pie game down pat. You got so much love and a gift and a calling for this thing. It's a no-brainer. You can get this done." Something else is going on with you. What's going on with you, baby? What's going on, baby? Okay. All right, Vi said she just told him. Ralph Angel found this letter, and this letter leaves the land to him and him alone. No Nova, no Charley. And he's like, "Ugh, well, I can understand that. Ralph Angel was doing a lot to help your dad, and he was the only one down here working when everybody else was off doing their own thing." And she said, "That's no, that's she's upset with Ernest for what he did." Now, we already know she can't take this up with Ernest. Okay. So anytime you can't resolve something with the person themselves, you tend to internalize it. And that's what she's feeling right now. She's feeling like this could split the family up. And then is this a time for me to be trying to sell pies? Time for me to be thinking about myself and my own future? Okay, I'm not sure. And he said, "No, no, 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 no. You're going to do these pies, and these kids are grown. They're smart. They're capable. They're going to work this out. But you continue doing what you're supposed to be doing." And I understand I vibe point, and I give y'all know I'm gonna always give a 10 to Hollywood. Hollywood can do no wrong in my eyes. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm team Hollywood, and he can get it. We see later on Aunt Vi's out pushing the pies. She's a little nervous. She's not the same Aunt Vi that just has that high yellow bumping, and she knows how to talk to all the vendors, and she knows all the customers, and she knows their children and all of this stuff. She's not, she's got a lot riding on this. And there's a part of her, I'm sure, that feels like, who's going to want to buy my pies? And she gets no's the whole day. The next day, she is taken to her bed like Scarlett O'Hara. And Hollywood comes in and is like, "Vi, what's going on? What you doing in the bed, baby? What's happening?" And she said, "I ain't going to work today." He said, "Well, why you not going to work?" "I don't feel good. I deserve a day off. I got nose all day yesterday. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm sick. I don't want to go out. I don't want to talk to anybody. I deserve to lay in my bed." He said, "You know what? Okay to have one bad day, but two, you can't do that. Just don't let that one bad day turn into two." And he just encourages. And she say, "How are you always so sure?" He says, "Because I want it for you too. I'm always going to want the best for you. And I'm always going to have your back." Y'all know we love Hollywood. Oh, he is a good, decent, strong, supportive, encouraging black man. And that is why he can get it. Okay? It turns me on. I love a thoughtful man. Love it! So, the next day, after he has rallied Vi up, they tag teaming. He going with her. She goes in and the guy's like, "Listen, I don't want to talk about pies. My air conditioning unit is out. Today is not a good day for jibber jabbering, jaw jacking." And Hollywood says, "Tell you what, I'll take a look at your air conditioning unit while you talk to this young lady about her pies." And Vi's able to sell her pies. And this is what it's all about. You know what I mean? Supporting one another, whether it's a sister supporting a sister, a husband supporting a wife, you know what I'm saying, a potential partner supporting another potential partner. Like it's important, and we see this thread throughout this entire episode where Although people are angry, although people are put out, they come to this place of family and support that is indicative of the Bordelon family, and it is all that Papa Ernest wanted for his kids, and they are not letting him down. They have their rifts, they have their tiffs, but they always seem to rally for each other and come together for each other as a family, and I love it. I love every minute of it. Okay, so that's on Vi in Hollywood. Now let's talk really quick about Davis and Micah, okay? Davis goes to pick Micah up from the Habitat Service project, right? And he gets a chance to meet Nova's friend. And Nova is very courteous to Davis. Now, y'all remember that when Charley mad at Davis, Nova mad at Davis. But in front of Micah, she's not going to do that. So she's very courteous to Davis and Micah on their way leaving. Of course, people are taking his picture and people are wanting to shake his hand. And Micah seems just a soupçon put off. He was just a hair. He just seemed a little bothered, but we didn't get into that. We didn't see this pop artist. I think her name was Julia. I think she's a singer. And there's a look between Davis and this woman. There's this look of chemistry. I don't know what it is. Like, hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? And she's doing an interview, and they say, well, you're not the only celebrity here. We have, Davis West here, and he doesn't take the spotlight completely. He says, yeah, I'm just here to support my son who's here working in this service project. This is a passion of his, and I'm here to support him on this. It's a good moment. He said, like this young lady, it's important to give back to the community. And they again exchange those looks. And we move on. Later we see Davis take Micah for a game of I don't know what they call it. Is that 21? Well, I'll put it down below. A very interesting play on the game is if Davis makes a basket, then he gets to ask Micah a question. Anything's on the table, you can ask anything, and vice versa. And Micah's hesitant at first, but Davis encourages him, and Michael gets the first basket. He gets the first basket and he asks his dad, "Are you a sex addict?" And Davis was like, "Damn, we gonna go just right in this real hard like that with my whole sexual proclivities." And Michael just said, "You wanted to ask me to ask anything? Oh, that's what I'm at. That's what I want to know." And he says, "No, but there is something wrong with me." He said, "I don't know what it is. I've played basketball great all my life, and people have always given me whatever I want because of it." He says, "But I'm trying to find my way in this thing. I'm trying to become a better person, and I feel like I'm on my way to becoming a better person." Good answer. I am flawed. I am not perfect, but I am trying. It is a great answer. It's a great retort for any parent to any child, and any child to any parent. It really is. It's a great retort. I am flawed. I am not perfect, but I am trying. What else can you ask for? Okay. Really, really good scene. All right. And we also get to see Michael with Nova and just how close they are. It just reminds me of with my niece and nephew. I don't have kids, but my niece and nephew are like my children, and everybody knows there's absolutely positively nothing you can do to keep Auntie from loving you. Okay, I'm gonna always have your back. I'm gonna always love you, and that's my role. That's the role I play. Is that I got your back. I get in your ass, but I got your back. All right, I love that dynamic between Nova and Micah. Um, let's talk about Nova real quick. So Nova's working for working the Habitat for Humanity project with Micah, and who shows up but Mr. Dubois, baby, looking good in old nice tight t-shirt. And Nova is caught several times looking at him as he works his machinery, and they got that little chemistry two people have where they kind of take quips at each other, and they both quick with it, and they take little innocent jabs. It's just a cute little way of flirting with one another. They do that the whole day. They take a walk through the parish, the ward that was really really hit hard by the storm, and Nova talks to him about how people pay $45 for tours to come through and see some of the destruction that still has not been rehabbed in that ward or that parish. And he tells her he is so proud of her because she says, I carry this New Orleans in my heart. Everywhere I go, I want to tell people about what happened here, and I want to share that. And he tells her, I'm so proud of you. I couldn't do it. I am so proud of you. And she says, thank you. And they have this kind of innocent, flirty, 1920s, I'm just getting to know you type courtship that I feel in my bones, y'all. I love it. I think it is beautiful. I think it is elegant. I think it is very simple. And I think it is extremely genuine. It is not this, although, there's nothing wrong with it necessarily. It's not this back up against the wall, ripping your clothes off and breathing all over you and kissing your neck and humping you real slow and fast and rough like, and you know, aggressively. It's not like choking. But anyway, I digress. Okay, it's just real innocent and sweet and genuine, and I love it. It makes me feel that old school butterfly in the tummy. Later on, when they go get ice cream, they're talking, and right at the moment that he tells her that he really really likes her, she gets the call from Charley. Steps away and talks to him, and he says, "I'd like to take," when she comes back from the phone call, he says, "I'd like to take you to dinner," and she says, I can't. I got to do something with my sister tonight. And she hasn't made arrangements with Charley. She's just kind of blowing him off and using Charley as an excuse. At some point, she decides that she is going to go over to Charley's house, and that is when she blesses Charley and Charley's house. Okay. Later on in that episode, we see where she is meeting him. He has come down to New Orleans to spend some time with her, to see her pretty face again, and she meets him and she brings him a cup of coffee. See, now she at this place where she is saying, let me see, let me see, let me see if I could, if I could fall in love. Let me give it a try and see if I could maybe make a baby that look like me and somebody else. Let me see if I can do something other than advocate for other people and be there for other people. Let me see if I can get a little bit of this love thing for Nova. So she brings him a cup of coffee and she tells him, thank you for coming to see me. I'm glad you came to see me, and I like you too. And it is a moment. Oh, oh, y'all! I tell you that just. I'm an old spirit anyway, so that kind of old school courtship where they sitting far apart and they looking at each other but looking down and kind of blushing. Oh, y'all, it's just beautiful. With black people, it's that much more beautiful, that much more special, and I like it. I like that moment. Yes, honey, Mr. Dubois is fine. So let's get into the meat of this thing, you guys. We're going to run through this real quick. We see Ralph Angel. Ralph Angel is making breakfast for Darla. And they talk about the job loss. It's been about 2 weeks since she lost that job. And he tells her, I want you to come live with us. I've got the soybean. I'm gonna start planting the soybean. It shouldn't take but a couple of months for it to come up. I can take care of you and Blue in the meantime, and you can stay here. You can help me out. We could be together. We can be a family. And she's like, I already told you about this, Ralph Angel. I did this thing on my own. We already know this is about Darla feeling like she has a perpetual stain and that everybody can see it. Okay, this is her perception of what people see when they see her. So she wants to prove to everyone, she wants to have something to say. Aha, I am good enough. I have recovered. I am on my feet. I can be trusted now. That's what she wants. All right. So when she goes to see Charley and asks about the resume, she leaves abruptly while Charley is trying to talk to her, and some of the questions that Charley was asking her put her in this uncomfortable place. She's worked for these great companies and she's got these gaps, but she can't really go back and ask these people for help because of her drug use. She burnt those bridges, and so confronting, being asked all these questions and coming to grips with the answer puts her in this position where she doesn't want to deal. She's not sure, and she leaves in this anxious rush. And when she's talking to her sponsor about it, her sponsor, she tells her sponsor, Ralph Angel wants me to move in with him, but I want to, do it on my own. And she's just like, why? Why, you know? And again, it's about this perceived stain that she has. She has something to prove. Her and Blue go out to see Ralph Angel in the field, and he's working, looking just like his daddy. I tell you what. And she asks him if he's lonely out there in the field. And he tells her, no, I feel at home out here. I'm comfortable out here. It's a good moment because that means he's really, really accepting this job, this farm, this life, farm life as his own, just as his daddy did. So it's important. And we see Darla giving Blue a bath, and Blue is having a good time. He got all his toys in there. He got his number one ace, Kenya, with him. Y'all know Kenya rides out with Blue like nobody's business. There, Darla asks him when she sees him playing with it, why do you like Kenya so much? He says she's good at whispers, and she keeps great secrets, and she's my very, very best friend. And so Darla says, I'm good at whispers too. And he was like, we see is Blue tearing the house up. He acting like Micah. He turning stuff over. He mad as hell. He is crying. He is a nervous wreck. He don't know what to do. He can't be consoled. He can't be calmed down. It is pandemonium. Darla comes in. Ralph Angel standing there. She's like, "What's going on?" He can't find Kenya. She's like, can I talk to you for a minute? So she goes to talk to Ralph Angel and find out that she done threw Kenya away. She felt like Kenya was just there because she wasn't there. And he don't need Kenya no more because she is there. And she feel like she's a good enough mama where he don't need to substitute with Kenya. And so she threw it away. And Ralph Angel kind of lost it on her, Louis. He was like, what the fuck? Why would you throw Kenya away? Kenya's like family. What am I supposed to do with sorry, Darla? Where'd you throw it away? And she was like, I just threw it away. Where did you throw it away, Darla? And she tells him, and he goes down and digs through the trash like any decent, upstanding father who rides for his son or daughter would do. Police come. He's standing in the trash. Here we go with this bullshit. Okay, white cop, black cop, white cop, you know what I'm saying? What are you doing here? Put your hands up, turn around, don't move. And the black cop is like, I know him, he's cool. Later, we see him talking to the black cop, and come to find out this is a dude he know from high school who is also gay. And Ralph Angel protected him. Not only protected him when they were in high school, but he never treated him any different. Never outed him. Never mishandled him. Never verbally abused him. And this guy really appreciates it. And he thanks him. I don't ever think I told you thank you, Ralph Angel, but I really appreciate you. A big reason why I was able to survive through those teen years. And Ralph Angel tells him he don't know what's going on with Kenya. Okay, the guy know he looking for the dog. He said, but I want Blue to be who he is, and I want him to be comfortable around me. I want him to be able to be himself around me. Not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it, y'all. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. But it's a moment. It's a moment. It's huge. It's huge because whoever Blue is, whatever he decides to do, one thing that will always be constant will be the love of his mother and father. And that's important. That's so important. So Ralph Angel goes back and he talks to Darla, and Darla explains to him that she felt like Kenya had replaced her and he didn't need it anymore. She wasn't thinking. I was so pissed off that she would throw Kenya away. Why would you throw Kenya away? Like, hide her, but why would you take her and throw her in the dumpster where she could never be found again? Like, who? It. It's such a selfish ass move, and it leads me to believe that Darla still has some tendencies where she could possibly do treachery. I already hear you, Badu. I hear you. You don't even have to say it. I hear you. Okay? I hear you, girl. We're going to talk about it down below. Y'all read the comments down below. Y'all know Badu cannot stand cannot stand Darla. Okay, I want Darla to win, but this bullshit she did right here, I did not appreciate at all. You don't fuck with Blue, and you definitely don't fuck with Kenya. What were you thinking? Anyway, Ralph Angel sort of has this come to Jesus meeting with her, and he just tells her, "We're gonna work this out." Uh, um, Blue having Kenya has nothing to do with you. Not so sure, but this is what he tells her. He also tells her, Blue knows you're his mom. And she's like, this is the one thing I'm good at. Listen, Blue know you his mom. You ain't got to do all of this. Later we see Kenya. We see, oh, that's a Freudian slip. We see Darla with a new Kenya. She trying to rough her up a little bit because y'all know Kenya be in the dirt. She swim. She climb trees. She chase after drones. Y'all know Kenya is ride or die, okay? So she got to scuffle up a little bit and she gets a phone call. It's a phone call from Charley. And Charley is offering her a job as office assistant. Long hours, grueling work, but if you're up for it, you're welcome to the job. She's happy, she's excited. She gets off the phone and she tells Ralph Angel that Charley has offered her a job. And Ralph Angel looks like again, I'm trying real hard with Ralph Angel, but I need him to understand that this is a give and take, give and take, give and take. Let Darla try the job. Don't poo on this. Don't diminish this for Darla, please. Okay, you guys. That is it for me. Thank you so much for joining me for Queen Sugar, Season 2, Episode 5, Caroling Dusk. Until next time, honeybees. Mwah!